Smashburger. The smashburger is not just a cooking style, it's a completely different eating experience from a standard burger. A loose ball of ground beef gets dropped onto a screaming hot flat-top griddle and immediately pressed down hard with a spatula. That pressure forces the meat into direct contact with the metal, creating a wide, thin patty with heavily caramelized edges and a crispy, lacy crust. The science behind it is the Maillard reaction, the browning that happens when proteins and sugars meet intense heat. The thinner the patty, the more surface area browns. Most smash burgers use two thin patties instead of one thick one, doubling the crust. American cheese is standard because it melts fast and completely. The whole thing comes together in under 3 minutes. Juicylucy. Invented in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and still fiercely debated between two bars, Matt's Bar and the Fifth Eight Club, both claiming to have created it first. The concept is simple but dangerous. Cheese is sealed inside the raw beef patty before cooking, rather than placed on top. As the burger cooks, the cheese melts into a pocket of molten liquid. Bite into it too fast and it erupts. First-timers almost always burn their mouths. The exterior looks like a completely normal burger. The interior is a trap. American cheese is traditional, but modern versions use blue cheese, pepper jack, or cheddar. The bun has to be sturdy enough to hold the extra weight without collapsing. Smash burger versus thick patty. The ongoing debate in burger culture. Smash burgers maximize crust and cook fast. Thick patties, usually 3/4 of an inch or more, prioritize a juicy pink interior cooked to medium. The fat stays trapped inside a thick patty in a way it cannot in a thin one. Getting it right requires lower heat and longer cook time. Too high and the outside burns before the inside reaches temperature. The bun has to be toasted hard enough to hold up without disintegrating. Neither is objectively better. They are genuinely different products. Oklahomaonionburger. Born during the Great Depression in El Reno, Oklahoma, when beef was expensive and cooks needed to stretch every dollar. A ball of ground beef goes onto a hot griddle, and before it gets pressed flat, a generous pile of thinly sliced raw onions is placed directly on top. The smash press forces the onions into the meat as it cooks, caramelizing them into the patty itself. The onions become part of the burger rather than a topping sitting on it. The bun is steamed directly on top of the cooking patty, soaking up everything underneath. Islak Burger. Turkey's most famous street burger and one of the most unusual in the world. Islak means wet in Turkish. A small, aggressively seasoned beef patty gets placed inside a soft roll and completely soaked in a garlicky, spiced tomato sauce. The whole thing then sits in a steam cabinet, absorbing the sauce continuously until ordered. The result is a burger that is soft all the way through. No crust, no crunch, just deeply flavored, almost melting meat inside bread that has absorbed every drop of the sauce. Sold almost exclusively late at night from small stalls in Istanbul. The garlic and black pepper hit is immediate. Roujiamo. Often called the world's oldest burger. The bread preparation traces back to the Qin dynasty, which predates the Roman Empire. Pork is slow braised for hours in a spiced broth built from soy sauce, ginger, star anise, and other aromatics until it breaks down completely. It gets chopped finely and packed into a flatbread called mo, baked in a clay oven until the outside is crisp and the inside stays soft. Sold from street stalls across Xi'an and now found in cities all over China. The combination of the crackling bread exterior and the intensely savory braised pork filling is why it has survived for over 2,000 years.